All right, I know that I'm live now. Good morning and welcome to WeServe Community Development Corporation. We are a nonprofit entity, a part of Praise Center Church of God in Christ. And our motto at WeServe is serving families, meeting needs, and building community. We welcome you to our presentation on mental health, understanding mental health. Mental health is something that we need to talk about. It's not something that we can gloss over anymore. It's not anything that we can ignore, but it's something that needs to be discussed because of COVID-19, all of the drama that we're dealing in the world. Mental health is an issue in the world today. And so this mental health workshop is in partnership with Healing Hearts to Heal, Healing Hearts to Heal. And the founder of Healing Hearts to Heal is Miss Ayanna Meeks. I want to give you information about our WeCARES. Our WeCARES initiative was launched because of COVID-19. We partner with the Virginia Department of Health and the Virginia Partners Prayer and Prevention. And what we've done is we've coordinated or facilitated workshops that will address personal development, financial literacy, and employment readiness. So on every first Saturday at 11:30 a.m. For the next 2 months, this month, December, and January, we'll have personal development workshops. They'll be related around mental health issues and how to deal with those type of issues. Then on the second Saturday of the month at 10 a.m., and then at 11:30 a.m., at 10 a.m., we'll have our employment readiness workshops. And at 11:30 a.m., we'll have our financial literacy workshops. So make sure you come back and join us here and join us in person. For those that are in person and for those that join us online, join us however you choose to join us to be encouraged, to be empowered. These are free workshops. They'll be beneficial to adults as well as children alike. So we want to encourage you. Again, this workshop is a personal development workshop dealing with understanding mental health. And now I'm going to turn it over into the hands of Miss Ayanna Meeks, and she's going to take us further. We want you to like and share. Someone needs to hear this on today. We can't ignore it. We can't hide it because it's becoming more a prevalent issue in the world today, in our communities and in our families and in our homes. So let's talk about mental health and let's face it head on. With the help of God, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Ms. Meeks, we're now in your hands.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Pastor McCowan, for this opportunity and for this time. Good morning. Good morning. We are live. All right. So we're going to dive right on in. And we just welcome you, everyone, this morning. Again, as Pastor McCowan said, I'm Ayanna Meeks. I am the CEO and founder of Healing Hearts to Heal, which was founded in September of 2021. And so we are so excited to partner with WeServe and be a part of the WeServe CARES program. So I'm going to dive right in because we have quite a bit of information for you all this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my PowerPoint. I think I can go in here. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So as Pastor McCowan stated, we're going to be talking about understanding mental health. I am by no means a clinical psychologist. A lot of my information I'm pulling from the CDC and World Health Organization. So a lot of my resources are there and they are indicated in the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. So during this session, guys, our learning objectives. First objectives is I'm hoping that you will gain a clear understanding of the meaning of mental health. Second objective, a better understanding of how mental health differs from mental illness. Okay. And then also being able to identify and apply components of mental well being. Okay, so I'm going to have a meaty session here, and hopefully, I'm able to stay within our time frame. All right. So, what is mental health? What is it? So, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. So, mental health is important at every stage of life, okay, from childhood and adolescence, even through adulthood. And so, that definition came according to the CDC, which is again the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. All right, so everyone has mental health, but not everyone receives a diagnosis involving a mental illness. Mental health includes your overall well being. Mental illnesses are diagnosable mental health conditions. So, we're going to talk about that today, okay, and talk about those definitions so that we can get a better understanding, okay. Let me grab my notes here, okay. Part, pardon my leaving the camera. All right, so the definition of mental health and mental illness will vary depending on who you ask. Um, Even within the medical community, these terms have no single definition. But many agree that while mental illness falls under the umbrella of mental health, the two terms aren't interchangeable. Okay. So just because there's a keynote there, just because your mental health isn't in great shape doesn't always mean you have mental illness. And just because you live with a mental illness doesn't necessarily mean your mental health is currently in a bad state. Okay. All right. So, what is mental illness? Okay. We're going to look at these definitions. Okay. All right. So, mental illness, also called mental health conditions or mental disorders, are diagnosable conditions. They often involve a highly distressing change in your thinking, emotions, or behaviors and can affect how you perform some daily activities. Okay. All right. So, to receive a diagnosis involving any mental health condition, a mental health professional will interview you to learn about the following: the symptoms you're experiencing, how long they've been happening, how severe they are, and also potential causes of your symptoms. Okay. So let's just repeat that. To receive a diagnosis involving any mental health condition, a mental health professional will interview you, okay, about the following. All right. So, according to healthline.com, in 2019, 1 in 8 people worldwide lived with a mental health condition, whether it was depression and anxiety disorder, and they were actually the most common. Okay. So that was pre COVID, guys. Pre COVID, there were already people dealing with depression and anxiety disorder at high levels. And as we all witnessed, we saw an increase when COVID hit. Okay. And so now I can't even say that we're post COVID because we're still dealing with COVID, but we're not at the height of it, but yet we're seeing the after effects of COVID, you know. Um, so so, outside of depression and anxiety disorders, okay, others may include bipolar disorder, substance use disorder, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, let's call it OCD for short, eating disorders, post traumatic stress disorders. Then you have your neurodevelopment disorders like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is also known as ADHD, because it is a real thing. And then you have autism spectrum disorder. And then lastly, personality disorders. Okay. And again, I'm no clinical therapist. These are just kind of some basic information, again, that came from our CDC. Okay. All right. Next slide, we're going to be talking about how our language matters. Okay. So while mental illness is still well known and used, many people prefer to use mental health condition. This helps us separate further from stigmatizing phrases like mentally ill. Okay, so we're moving in a different direction. But the terms mental illness and mental disorders are still used widely, and opinions differ on how acceptable they are. So, most communities do suggest avoiding terms such as mentally disabled or handicapped, mentally ill, crazy, insane, nuts, or psycho. Okay, must be careful about the language that we use. Okay. So, what do I say instead? Instead of saying someone is mentally ill, say that person is living with a mental health condition. Okay. All right. What is mental health? So now we're moving from, we've talked about mental illness. Okay. And so now we're moving into what is mental health, right? So, according to the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, um, mental health includes your social, emotional, and psychological well being. Okay. It's more than simply the absence of mental illness. Okay. All right. So, the World Health Organization, which is also the WHO, describes good mental health as someone being capable of the following. Okay. Effectively coping with stressors. Okay. Think about that. How do you cope with the everyday stressors of life? Okay. Also, being able, learning and working well. All right. And then also contributing to their community. Okay. So that's what they deem as, being in good mental health. You're able to effectively cope with stress. You are able to learn and work well. And then you're also able to positively contribute to your community. All right. So mental health is complex, and your mental health will be unique to you. Everyone's mental health is not the same. Okay. So, what looks like good mental health for one person won't be the same for someone else. So, just a little note there, you can have good mental health while living with a mental health condition. So, again, we talked about that definition under the mental illness, which we now know the community likes to say mental health condition. Okay. So, you can still have good mental health while living with a mental health condition. All right. So, remember that mental health is health. It is just as important as your physical health and as important as part of your overall well being. Okay. All right. So, we're going to talk about three components of mental health. Okay. The first component we're going to discuss is our cognitive health. All right. So, component one, cognitive health. What is cognitive health? Okay. It is the ability to clearly think, learn, and remember. It is in, it, excuse me, is also an important component of performing everyday activities. Okay. All right. So we can think of mental health as the ability to adapt to challenging situations. Okay. Um, by effectively managing our thoughts and emotions in order to continue pursuing worthy goals, and behaving in line with our values. Mental health is not something you have, it is something that you practice. Okay. So that's kind of the definition when we talk about cognitive health. Okay. Or when we talk about the components of mental health. Okay. So it's able to adapt to challenging situations by effectively managing our what thoughts and our emotions in order to what continue to pursue worthy goals. Okay. Again, I'll repeat, mental health is not something you have, it is something that you practice. Okay. So the first component of our mental health is again cognitive health. Okay. How do we think? How do we learn? And our ability to remember. Okay. All right. So, how do you maintain um, cognitive health? How do we maintain it? Okay. So, the first thing is eating healthy foods. Okay. It's preferred that we eat a plant-based diet. Okay. So different studies show that a diet based on high amounts of plant-based foods like fruits, especially our berries, green leafy vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, and olive oil is associated with slower mental decline in, in older adults. It is important to drink enough water and other fluids. So, taking care of our brain, being able to eat the things that are healthy for us, eat the things that um, provide nutrients to our brain. It's easy for us to grab McDonald's or we can grab some type of fast food, um, but a lot of times we really have the things within the earth that we can use for uh, healthy brain maintenance. Okay. All right. How do we maintain cognitive health? Number two, be physically active, guys. Okay. Exercise regularly. Okay. It is important to do at least 30 minutes to an hour of moderate intensity exercise 3 to 5 times a week. We know that the benefit of exercising regularly is incredible. It is incredible to prevent or delay heart disease, diabetes, and other diseases. Studies also show that physical activity has benefits for the brain. Some studies have even shown that exercise can help to improve learning and your spatial memory. Okay. It is also important to take care of your health, limiting the use of alcohol, and if you can, quit smoking. Okay. All of these things that can hinder our mental health and our total well being. Okay. So these are some things that we ought to think about. Okay. As we move through, especially as we begin to get older. Okay. All right. Number three, get enough sleep. All right. So generally, experts recommend sleeping 7 or 8 hours each night. And I know y'all saying, Ayana, I don't get that. I got all this going on. But when you sleep, the functions of your brain are still active, processing information. Okay. It is important to have good quality and enough quantity of sleep as your brain can go through the 5 different stages of sleep. And we can't get into all of that. All right. But that helps you to process new information. So our brains are set up to process all of the things that we've gone through in the day. And when we sleep, it allows our brains to heal. Okay. We need that. Okay. We're overloaded. We got home responsibilities, work responsibilities, and then you have all of the things that are happening in the world. And so that's overwhelming to us. And so it's important that we sleep, get that rest that we need, rest your mind, rest your body. So that way your brain wake up and then you're able to process new information that's going to be downloaded the next day. And so we want to do everything that we can to, again, keep that cognitive health maintained. All right, managing stress, number four. Okay. Neurologists say that the best ally could be laughter. It is important to have a positive attitude towards life and avoiding or manage stress to take care of your brain. Now, we're not saying you're going to be happy every single day, all right, all throughout the day. But it's wonderful to manage that stress. You know, you can only control the things that you can control, okay? Everything else, there's nothing you can do about those things that you have no control over, okay? So take time to be able to do the things that you know are can manage your stress level. You know, don't get involved with that phone call. If you know that person's calling and it's going to be a stressful phone call, let it go to your voicemail. They can leave a message. Okay. All right. All right. Number five, stay connected with social activities. We live in such a world, especially when COVID hit. People got so very comfortable with this isolation, staying away from people, and people still, after COVID, you know, the post COVID crisis, we're still trying to stay away and isolate. But again, we're talking about our cognitive health and why it's important to keep that social piece. Okay. So it is essential to visit family and friends and to join programs in your community. Okay. Participating in social activities may lower the risk of somewhat brain decline. Okay. And other health problems. Okay. Other people encourage you to get active, other people to have healthy conversation. It activates that brain activity. Okay. All right. Also, connecting with other people through social activities and programs keeps I'm sorry, that's a typo. Being connected with other people through social activities um, and programs keeps your brain active and also help you to feel part of a community, okay, and less isolated, okay. This is essential to improve your well-being and to keep your brain safe, okay. It's wonderful when you can converse with others, you know, and they're exercising your brain, introducing you to new things, doing different activities, okay? That keeps our brain healthy, all right? All right, number six, keep your mind active, challenge your brain, okay? Many people who participate in volunteer programs or have hobbies claim that they feel happy and healthy. It is important to be intellectually engaged, okay, to fit and benefit your brain. Some ideas of activities that can keep your mind active: reading books, okay? A physical book, guys. You know, everything is so technology, you know, everything's done electronically, but I love to hold books. I love to flip through the pages, highlight things, write notes to exercise my brain. Okay. Reading or magazines. Okay. Pick up that magazine in the grocery store, you know, read that wonderful health article. Okay. Taking classes about something new, learn something new. All right. Playing games, have that family night. Invite those neighbors over to have a healthy game. Okay. And as we mentioned above, learning a new skill or a hobby or even volunteering somewhere. Okay. That's why we notice people who retire. They're like, I can't sit at home. So they go and be that greeter at Walmart because it gets them out and interacting with people and it keeps their mind going and keeps them socializing with people. And so that's all a part of our cognitive maintenance. Okay. All right, so let's move into component number two. All right, all again talking about mental well being, okay? Emotional health, okay? That's component number two. All right. So emotional health is about how we think and feel. It is about our sense of well being, our ability to cope with life, okay, events, and how we acknowledge our own emotions as well as those of others. It doesn't mean being happy all the time, okay? It means you're aware of your emotions. You with them, whether they're positive or negative. Emotionally healthy people still feel stress, anger, and sadness, but they know how to manage those negative feelings. They can tell when a problem is more than they can handle on their own. Okay. They also know when to seek help from their doctor or their trusted, pastor or a really close friend, but more so from, their doctor to reach out and say, hey, something's not going on with me. Something's not well with me emotionally. Okay. All right. So as we maintain our emotional health, okay, we must one be aware of your emotions and reactions. Notice what in your life makes you sad, frustrated, or angry. Try to address or change those things. Okay. I talked about it earlier. You may get a phone call and it may be somebody that the conversation is going to go left, and you're not going to be in a good mood. Send it to voicemail. Okay. Let them leave a message. If they end up texting you, choose a healthy and say, you know what? I'm not going to read that right now. Okay. I don't extra negativity because it's going to put me in an unhealthy space. Okay. So make some changes in those things that you find are making you sad or frustrated or even angry. Okay. Express your feelings in appropriate ways. So let people close to you know when something is bothering you. A lot of times we want to bottle things up and hold it. But keeping feelings of sadness or anger inside adds to stress, guys. Okay. It can cause problems in your relationships at home, at work, and at school. Okay. Silence, holding it, no, it's not healthy. Okay. Secondly, before we act, so important, give yourself time to think and be calm before you say or do something that you might regret. Okay. All right. So, managing your stress. Okay. Um, oh, I can't see my slide here. All right. So managing your stress. So learning what to cope with stress. All right. These can include what? Deep breathing, meditation, and then again, exercise, which we talked about in the slides before. So learn how to breathe. Okay. Along with calming yourself down, to count to 10. Okay. Count to 5. All right. Meditation, taking that time to just be in a quiet place and space. Okay. That could look like some soft meditation music, calming the brain, calming the heart, calming the body. Okay. And exercise. Okay. The way I deal with stress is I like to start cleaning. Okay. People might say, what? That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to me. That's something that I do when I begin to become overwhelmed. Okay. It's therapeutic for me. Okay. To be in cleanliness. All right. Strive for balance. Find a healthy balance between work and play and between activity and rest. Make time for things you enjoy and focus on positive things in your life. We so focus on the negative, and that doesn't help our mental well being. Okay. Focus on the good that is happening around you. Okay. Just try to work on that if that's a challenge for you. We want to be able to see there's some positive, all of our good days really do outweigh our bad when we begin to think about it. Okay. Take care of your physical health. Again, exercise regularly. We talked about eating healthy meals in the previous slides. We talked about getting enough sleep. Don't abuse your alcohol. Okay. If that's a struggle, um, find some help. You know, because those things also can deteriorate your emotional health. Okay. Try to keep your physical health from affecting your emotional health. Okay. It all ties in together. All right. Find purpose and meaning. Figure out what's important to you in life and focus on that. This could be your work, your family, your friends, volunteering somewhere, caregiving, or something else. Spend time doing what feels meaningful to you. A lot of times we don't feel like we have a purpose, but we do. That passion, that thing that you feel passionate about, focus on that and know that that's in you for a reason. And so push forward in that. Make that your focus. Okay. Stay positive. Focus on the good things in you. Forgive yourself for making mistakes and forgive others. Spend time with healthy, positive people. Okay. This last one is so important, guys. Stay positive. It's a challenge sometimes because, especially when you're around other negative people, but that goes back to when we talked about being able to make those changes of things that make us angry and sad and frustrated. Okay. All right. We want to be positive. And listen, yourself for making mistakes and for others. uh, it can hold you in a prison. Okay. You think that you're doing something good by, well, I'm just gonna hold on and be mad. No, because what it does is it eats away at you. It eats away at you emotionally, it eats away at you physically. You become sick, you can become sick and ill. So all of that ties together, guys. Our cognitive health, our emotional health, all ties together. All right. So component number three, okay, behavioral health. That behavior, all right? So behavioral health includes the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being. Behavioral health is sometimes called mental health and often includes substance abuse, okay? So just like your physical health, behavioral health has trained providers who can help you much like a physical healthcare provider would as well. All right. So when we talk about behavioral health, okay, under that umbrella, I put self regulation, okay? Being able to self regulate is important. We require it of our children when we're raising them, we're teaching them how to regulate their emotions. And so as adults, we need to do that too, okay? So an adult with poor self regulation skills may lack self confidence and self esteem and have trouble handling stress and frustration. Often, this might result in anger or anxiety. Okay. In more severe cases, it can even lead to being diagnosed with a mental health condition. So, guys, we see how that's all tying together. Okay. All right. So, behavioral health. So, qualities of self regulators. In general, people who are adept at self regulating tend to be able to do what? They're able to act in accordance with their values. Okay. And you have to do that. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother lesson. But our values, okay? Calm themselves when upset. All right. Cheer themselves when feeling down. They're able to maintain open communication, persist through difficult times, put forth their best effort, remain flexible and adapting to situations, see the good in others. They're also able to stay clear about their intentions, okay? Take control of situations when necessary, and they are able to view challenges and opportunities, okay? All right, guys. So that kind of wraps up our mental health segment and our well being. Here, I just listed some mental health resources. Okay. If you find that you are struggling in this season, you're struggling, whether it be mental, whether it be emotional, physical, mainly mental. Okay. So here are some resources. Okay. You have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. These hotlines are monitored by someone 24/7. All right. So there's the number there, 1-800-273-8255. You also have the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Okay. And that number has been provided for you as well as the website. You also have the online crisis chat if you just need to talk to somebody. Maybe you don't want to reach out to family. Maybe you don't want somebody to know, but you just want to talk. That is also available. Then you also have the crisis tech line. I work in the middle school. I give this number out to students all the time. It's very simple. You text home 741-741. I've tried it, and someone gets back to me immediately. Anonymous. You don't have to give your name or any personal information. It's there to listen. And then lastly, for more resources, you can go to www.apa.org /topics/crisis hotlines, and that gives you more information. All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I'm going to turn it back into the hands of Pastor McCowan.
Give us information about your next session next month.
Yes. So our next session will be in December. And it's December 2nd, which is the first Saturday of the month in December. And so those topics, I do not have.
I put it on the spot. I put it on the spot. Hold on, I can pull it up because I have it on the flyer. I hope and pray that you were encouraged by today's session. I'm not seeing it very quickly.
Let me see.
We'll get that information to you as she looks for it. But we hope and pray that something was said and done that encouraged you on today in addressing or responding to or understanding mental health issues that we're dealing with across the nation, across the land. Mental health issues are something that is prevalent in the land. And it's important for us, let me get down, it looks like I'm a little bit too tall. It's important for us to address these issues in our homes, in our families, even in the church. I understand that prayer changes things, but in addition to prayer, in addition to the word of God, sometimes we need to talk to someone. When we're isolated, that isolation causes us to be hearing a whole bunch of stuff and not hearing things that we need to have reinforced into us. And we need to get the help that's needed. And so I hope and pray that you are encouraged. Like and share this with someone that you know that may need to hear it. There are hotlines and numbers that are available to be able to assist you. And you can even reach out to us here at WeSERVE and Healing Hearts to Heal. We're here to minister. We're here to serve, and we're here to address the needs that affect our communities. As I always say, we pray that you will be blessed by God. Ms. Meeks is going to come and give you what her next session is, and we hope and pray that you have been encouraged.
Okay. I do apologize. I should have had that information up. So our next session will be in December, again, December 2nd, and we're going to be talking about rational thinking and good decision making. Okay. So in that session, we will discuss the impacts of rational thinking and making good choices and how that can affect our mental health. And then in January, I want you to join us. We'll be talking about managing difficult situations, guys. In this session, we will discuss how important our mental health as a whole can affect our ability to manage difficult situations. We will also examine healthy ways to handle hard situations. So I look forward to seeing you all then.
All right. Now, again, those are workshops. We may not be able to deal with mental health with our children, even though that's something that we should be addressing. But rational thinking, how to think rationally, is important for our young people. So if you got young people that are, having trouble making the necessary decisions that they need to make, you want to have them join in. They sit and look at TV and look at computers and look at their phones all day. I was talking to my son Aaron this morning. He was looking at a video from Nigeria and people eating food and testing out different foods. I was like, what in the world are you looking at? And so they spend a whole bunch of time on their phones. They can pull up the phone, tune in, get this encouraging word that will help build them up and help strengthen them and help them to make better decisions in their thinking, how to handle difficult situations. Yeah. They're facing that every single day. So if it may not be pertinent to you as an adult, which it could be, it will be pertinent to our young people as well. So we want to encourage you to share this information and join us on the first Saturdays of the month, December 2nd. And then I don't know when the first Saturday in January is. It is the 6th. December 2nd and January 6th will be these new two next sessions: personal development, dealing with mental issues and the ways that we think and how we handle situations. We hope and pray that you've been encouraged by this session from Healing Hearts to Heal, which is a part of our WeCARE's program, WeServe Cares program. And we, again, are here to serve our community. These are free sessions. Come get this information, empower yourselves and empower your families and empower your people. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Join us next week for financial literacy and employment readiness workshops. Go to WeServeVA.org. That's WeServeVA.org. WeServeVA.org. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.